Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly, grim, and perilous master, because today we're carrying on with our ongoing campaign playing Cubicle 7's outstanding Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th edition. And we are using that to play through a campaign called Salt, Silver, and Sin, set in the northernmost province of the Empire, Nordland, centered around the capital of Salzenmund. We are also making use of material from Salzenmund, City of Salt and Silver. So if you are intending on playing a campaign, we are heading back here fairly soon. If you're intending on playing a campaign in there, this session may contain spoilers for that setting. And if you're not concerned about that, well then welcome. And let me introduce you to the stars of today's session, the grim and perilous players themselves. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing? First up, we've got Darren.
Hello there, yeah, I'm playing Alwyn Coulson, who is a human outlaw, and as always with his lovable family pet, Astrid.
Very nice. Next up is Carl.
Hello, I'm Carl, and I'm playing Katarina Hoffman. She's a priest of Shalia.
Very nice. And last, but certainly not least, is John.
Hey everyone, I'm John. I'm playing Palther, and he is a sailor priest of Manon.
Very nice. So guys, last session saw you finally making your departure from Oldenleeds, but not before seemingly making a new friend, I think. What do you guys recall from last time?
Well, we wrapped up our adventure in the city, got paid, and decided that we would...
So that is dramatically simplifying what happened. So what do you recall?
Well, we met with Talthir von Bilbad and let him know that we would not be interested in, following up with the stuff below ground.
So to be more accurate, I think, didn't you meet with him the first time last time as well?
Yes. So
a more accurate way of describing it would be that he met with you because he didn't hire you. You guys had not met him before, right?
Yes. He met with us and offered us the future business, which we had to consider because we were busy, saving people from the collapsed buildings and whatnot, and that led roundabout. Actually, we went to visit Ohar and.
Oh yeah, I got in.
What was that?
My wife.
Oh.
She got the code for the new Doom game.
I got invited.
She got invited to
nice.
beta test.
Cool.
It's nice.
We I met with Orhar, got a pretty cold reception from him, and collected the last what was it, the box that we needed that we got from the nobles to return back to Salzmund. And then we went to Talthir von Bilbad and let him know that we were leaving town, which we discussed the Skaven. Don't do this from memory.
He also did not suggest a contact in Salzenmund.
Yes, we revealed the essence of the box with him, which was heavy with necromancy.
And do you remember the name of the contact he suggested in Salzenmund?
I don't know if I wrote that down. Here it is, Magistrate Sabine Flemius. Yes.
Okay.
And there was some talk between Thognoth about returning to his homeland to deliver word of Grozum's sacrifice. And that we could get in contact with him through the Magistra. And he gave us coin for our troubles. And then we proceeded to leave town.
Did you meet with anyone else before you departed?
We did talk to the Orhar and his group, and we talked to Orhar and his group to get the box back, and we also we didn't talk directly to Zakon's
guys.
We talked to Zakon's guys to warn them.
Yeah. So the Alwyn, one of the key interests that you had as part of your backstory was getting to know more about elves and whatnot. Do you think there's anything that Alwyn would have done? You weren't able to be here last time, but is there anything Alwyn would have done or said to either Orhar or to the Wood Elves?
I think we got a fairly cold sort of well, the conversation with Orhard didn't seem to go particularly well, so it was quite an offish sort of discussion they had with him, so he probably wouldn't have followed that up. He might have tried to leave things open a bit with the other Zakons group, that maybe in the future we could meet up again, because they're only here temporarily, aren't they, trying to get these artifacts? They don't live in the cities and that. They're wood people, aren't they?
Zakons, well, they are, but the elves that you are most likely to run into in the wild outside of Lorelorn are going to be elves of Zakons type. Those who don't have the long-standing connections before the War of the Beard.
Is it the Harrier or something like that? The sort of nomad-y types. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's actually also only a word that is used in Lorelorn. Those living outside of it would not call themselves that, but because Lorelorn has that stratified class system, that's why they call them that.
So it'd probably try and find out where they're going to go, where they're going to sort of return to if they manage to get these artifacts and that, just for maybe future.
Yeah, sure. Why don't you give us...
on them.
Let's see here. Just give us a charm check, please.
Okay.
And we'll make that... we'll actually make that... let's make it easy. Just because you guys did do a pretty big service for them, and you came through. All right. So they will... I don't have it in mind right now where that would be, but they've got a way... You've got a way of kind of contacting the exiled elves, or however you want to think of them, those who live outside of Lorelorn.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think that's all he'd be potentially interested in, to be honest, before leaving.
All right. Anything else we're missing from last session before you guys left Olden Leeds? I don't think there is, but okay. So then what happened after you left Olden Leeds?
On a boat. Yeah, we were having a leisurely journey back towards Salzenmund, and then I think almost as we were departing, or maybe a little before, Katerina caught someone in the act of trying to steal all that hard-earned coin from us.
Yeah, it's as you guys were traveling. It was... nobody could roll to say, a success to save their life on it, and then everyone was out of narrative metacurrency at that point too, so I think Katerina had to burn a resolve in order to get the one. So you'll have caught this person stealing. So I think unless there's anything else we're missing from our summary, that's where we'll pick up, is with you on the river heading back to Salzenmund, and you have just caught this person with their perhaps pickpocketing somebody or going through their stuff to grab it. Mm-hmm. It is a young man, and okay, I think you've been introduced to him as Johan, one of the people who is like a deckhand on the boat. You could have picked the number you wanted on this, and I think you picked 11. Was it 11 or 1?
I think it's a crit. Something like that.
Yeah, because the thing is that crits don't allow you to beat the other one, and I thought that I had rolled quite well, so you needed to pick the 1.
Maybe it wasn't a 1, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so then that means he probably is aware that you have spotted him then. Okay, so you've caught him. It's probably below the deck in this boat, and I think I remember to grab the book this time. Here we go. I remember to grab the book. I did not remember to load the image. So I think a B+, Madison. This is what a typical barge would look like, guys.
Okay.
So perhaps it's closer to the front, where you spot him kind of like counting his, like you can recognize maybe somebody's coin purse that he's got. What do you do, Katerina?
I'm going to say, I guess we know him by name, right?
Yeah, Johann.
I ask him, I guess innocently, Johann, it's probably bad luck to steal from a priest of Shalia and her companions.
Why don't you give us a charm check at... Let's make it easy. And I'll roll for his cool. Astounding success, and I rolled a critical fail.
Jeez.
So I think he, having confronted this guy, like his eyes just immediately begin welling up with tears. And he, kind of gets on his knees and comes towards you, and is just pleading for your forgiveness. This.
Perhaps we'll just say, no one else knows, right? So
no one else knows at this point, no.
Perhaps we'll say it's just a finder's fee and we misplaced everything. You should give it back. And I will give you, I guess I'll give him a gold for his troubles, because that's 10% of my... Anyway.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so he just gets something. And just remember,
Yeah.
if you are going into this line of work, Johann, just remember the mercy of Shalia.
He is you have won a lifelong convert to this. We're not going to get into the full depths of it for now, but it seems as if there is some particular need that this guy was stealing this for. This wasn't him just stealing for the sake of it. And with that level of success, I think this is a guy who is going to potentially give up his, I got a crit fail, you got an astounding success. I think this is a kind of come to Shalia moment for this guy. So you may be seeing him at the hospital afterwards, donating his funds and then donating his time afterwards. He was just, because why would you not get caught in this, right? Like if you're on a boat and you're traveling for this time, this is such a foolhardy thing to do. So it may speak to desperation for this stuff, but Johann is a lifelong devotee at this point. So I think the rest of you, wherever your mind is at right now, you may see Katerina kind of coming back from the front of the boat with this young dock worker or deckhand who is just absolutely devastated emotionally. No indication as to why. Do you have any plan for how to get the money back to everybody, Katerina, or do you just...
Let's see. I'll just kind of innocently say, I think we dropped our coin pouches just in some of the turbulence of the river, and I just give it to them.
Okay.
I might give it to some of them with a wink.
Okay.
And look over at the guy.
Okay.
But,
so then if Rudy or if Thognoth have objections to that, go ahead and say now, guys. No, I don't...
Okay. I don't know if Alwyn or...
Sounds like they're fine with it. So.
Althar have that.
I think Alwyn, obviously, this is the money we got from Philbad, was it? He'll take it, and he'll know exactly what's happened because he's been here, he's done all this.
Yeah. You're an alley cat, right?
And I think he'll give this kid a stern look, but he'll leave it at that. It's like it'll give him the look of you've got away with absolute murder here.
Yeah. Do you think Alwyn's done?
Leave it like that.
Has he made a similar error before, or has he been wiser than that?
Oh no, he's got into trouble back home, definitely. that's where he's learned his skills, unfortunately, from making mistakes such as this. But he's just had a good beating for it, back at his homeland. He's someone from the family would have caught him and he'd just got a beating, whether that be his dad or his brother or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's learned from his mistakes, but he's had to suffer a bit harsher, I think, probably. Whereas this guy's got away with it.
We may have talked about this before, but I don't remember. But like, is your family like are they scoundrels?
No. They're more sort of naughty types. Live off the land. Everyone's a strong man. Looks after himself, looks after his family.
Yeah.
Quite traditional type. So they're not scoundrels, but they wouldn't. Be worried about taking from another sort of tribe that's miles down the way. If needs must, we're running out of food, we'll go and get it from someone who seems to have plenty, sort of thing. So not thievery as such, but a sort of Viking sort of, I guess, outlook maybe in some ways. If they want stuff, they can sort of take it, but I think more when they needed it rather than just for the sake of getting richer or owning more land.
Okay.
So,
all right. And how does Talther react to the theft?
He's more of a deadpan expression as he looks to the boy, and then he looks to Katerina and the back of the boy and says, Manon would not have been so forgiving. It's a blessing the priestess of Shalia found out. And he puts the money deep in his shirt.
Okay. All right. Then, guys, unless there's anything else you wish to, address to Johan or on the trip, I think, guys, we can return once again to Salzenmund. So there, just as a reminder of the grandeur of the city itself.
The smells of home.
Mm-hmm. And you guys are, as you're docking and disembarking from the barge, what you would, I guess, maybe question is, is someone along here, it's some river person who was the intended destination for that box. So you guys would have had a chance to discuss what you'd like to do as well. Once you've returned to Salzenmund, what are your plans here, guys?
Right. I know Katerina would like to go to the temple and explain what happened.
Yeah.
And also probably give a report on what happened in Odenleitz as well. That's what she would like to do.
Okay.
I thought we give the box to Fieldbag?
I think that go ahead. I should. What do you remember, John?
I don't.
I don't think we actually gave it to him. He gave us some recommendations on who would be interested in it.
We're going to go to the Moor Temple with it originally, but now we might go to this woman. Is contacted Salzenmund as well. Okay.
Yeah, there's a wizard you could go to. There is the priest of Moor will most certainly and just as a reminder, the two things: Moor obviously cares for the dead and does the dooming for humans when they are young. They're also stalwart foes of the undead. And remember, in the not so distant past, there was that incident where some necromancer raised all the dead from the lake, and they all came crawling out. So the city itself is quite mindful of the threat of undead. And there was that curious thing that Thognoth and Frederick dealt with as well.
Was that the Red Rage thing?
Red Rage,
that's all of you guys dealt with that. But remember, there was that creature that his younger brother, found trapped.
Oh, yeah.
In the harbour.
Correct.
Crawling
Caught up
out
in the net.
Yeah.
Caught in the net, yeah.
Yeah.
So there is, I mentioned that the priest of Moor in Salzenmund would also be interested in that as foes of the undead. So, what is it? So, Katerina wants to go to the Temple of Shalia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talther, you have any? I'm assuming you're checking with your temple as well. You were sent on that.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Got to report back to the those in charge.
Yep. Alwyn, what about yourself?
Who do we have to check in with about the wedding party?
That was the different. You guys were sort of going along as hired folks. It was the
Katerina that was like the main
and Talther.
focus of the group.
I think we should like all go together, and then just when we go to Temple of Shalia, Katerina takes the lead, and I go to the Temple of Manon and report. We should all show up as a group. You don't have to split apart.
I think
who's carrying the box at the moment?
What was that, Darren? Sorry, I was talking over you.
I was just saying who was carrying the box at the minute. Was it Katerina or the curse book, the box?
I don't have it on my sheet, so I don't know.
I don't think it was Rudy.
Because Owen is interested because he remembers that Katerina started looking a bit unhealthy when she was carrying it previously. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Did you guys turn it over to?
Maybe we did turn it over then.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think you might have
the video a little bit, and you was talking to Phil Bad about it.
Yeah.
But I didn't think you'd hand it over. I thought you took it back.
Let's take a look here. The box isn't on Thognoth's sheet. And
did we actually have an entry for it, as it were?
I'm not too sure. And Rudy has just leveled up.
I know I had it originally, and then I gave it to Orhar to look after while we were doing the sewer business.
Yeah. No, you guys definitely got it back.
I know he gave it back.
I don't see it on Rudy's sheet either. And I just realized I may have looked in the wrong place for Thognoth. Let's take a look here. Thognoth is carrying around spoiled food from Grosim's kitchen. So if you're wondering what that smell is, it's identified now.
Yeah.
Regardless, I mean, I don't really care if it is a retcon of it. Would you guys want to have just left it with Von Feelbad for him to deal with, or would you have wanted to deliver it somewhere to one of those?
This Sabine, was it Sabine Famous or Flamus? What was she going to do with it? What did he think she'd be able to do with it?
She is just the effectively the most influential mage in Salzenmund, and she happens to be a member of his order as well too. So she was a way of getting in contact with him when or if you guys are traveling to Grosim's people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think Alwyn would want to have brought it back to someone like that, because this is potentially where the woman who was it? I'm sure it was a woman who it was addressed to, like on the actual box. So she is potentially sort of living here, and if she's, made contact with someone to get this thing, then maybe they need looking into as well, because what are they doing with this thing? Why have they requested it or paid so much money and effort to get it? What are they doing with it?
Yeah,
because it's obviously not a nice thing. So I think Alwyn had took it on himself to carry it and deliver this to someone who's going to deal with it rather than just dispose of it.
Okay,
basically.
So yeah, the names that would come up, I expect, would be the Priest of Moor, the Mage, the Magistra, and potentially the Church of Shalia. She's not necessarily a foe of the undead, but she's certainly not in supportive of that. And, she may have, or the church may have other allies to direct it to. The Church of Ulrich and the Church of Sigmar are also pretty big here, but Sigmar's number one foe is chaos, followed by the greenskins, and then sort of, necromancy afterwards. Ulrich is, I think, the greenskins first. So if you're wondering,
I'll carry it, and Katerina can ask at her church first, and if they suggest taking it to the guys of Moreland, we'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll take their advice, I think.
One thing that both of the priests would know as well, while you guys are not necessarily enemies to one another, your churches are more likely going to want to speak to you in confidence. So it's great that you hired Alwyn to go along with it. They are probably not going to want to, or at least they would not speak openly about everything in front of a member of a different priesthood. You're just simply not, in the...
Oh, I'm fine waiting outside.
Yeah.
Just escort her back and forth.
Okay. And that would be returned. So, Alwyn, anything else you wish to do? We've got Talther and Katerina meeting with their superiors. You guys may finally be getting your robes, too.
I know.
No, he just wants to be involved because, like I said before, he wants to get his name sort of mentioned
I think
here and there.
I thought Alwyn was known at least Katerina's mentioned Alwyn at the temple.
Yeah, the temple's been good to Alwyn, like giving him a place to sleep and stuff. So he's got a bit of time and respect for Charlia's lot.
Okay.
So
you will also have a new convert you're delivering Katerina as well.
All right.
Yeah. So, where do you guys want to start? You guys are arriving fairly late in the day, late in the afternoon, but you still have, a little bit of the afternoon left and the evening. Where are you guys?
I think we should go to the temple first, but
So, which temple are we going to? Shalia or Manon?
Shalia, right?
Yeah, if nothing else, to ditch the little hanger-on we got here sooner.
Okay. So,
Convert.
Temple Shalia, as a reminder, is right here. So, when you go, do I have... Let's see here, Mother Agatha. Oh, I do. Look at that. There we go. There's Mother Agatha. Good job, Kev, from a year and a bit ago. So how do you guys feel being back in Salzenmund, by the by? It's been, for players, it's been a very long time, but for your characters, it's probably only been about a month.
Oh, wow.
Invigorating. The smells of home are much better than the sewers that he's starting to just trauma memories.
I'd like to get to the Shipwright Arms at some point. As our hangout.
Yeah. So when you approach, as a reminder, the Temple of Shalia is a modest building built on the banks of the Steinfluss stream. It's built from pale limestone around a covered courtyard with a large arched entrance from the street. On the left of the courtyard is a small infirmary. Priestesses and attendants' cells are on the right. In the center of the entrance is a bare plinth missing a statue. I'm not sure you've learned yet as to why that's happened, Katerina, but you've been quite busy since you've arrived in Salzenmund anyway. As you were going in, you probably run into one or two of your fellow sisters who are grateful to see you back.
Yes, it's been some time, sisters.
And
I had a few detours. I apologize for not returning in a more timely manner.
The Lady of Mercy brought you back to us safely. The Mother Agatha will be glad to hear of your return. I have no doubt. So they rush off. Someone helps Johann go off with his own tasks. Alwyn, I think someone comes up to you. Oh, you poor thing. Are you in need of aid?
I think he would stay outside and just tell
you don't want to
Katerina.
come in for some stew? You don't come in for some stew?
Well, I think in a sense of respect, he's going to keep this cursed box outside of the temple. He don't think it should be like taken in there until like Mother Agatha's given him the all clear that he can come in and show it to her, or she wants to come out and look at it, or he just don't think it should be in there. So he's going to like keep hold of it outside and just say, when you get a chance, you know, see what she thinks.
Nice.
And so yeah, he'll talk to any that, you know, by the front entrance, or I ask him. But
Okay.
he's looking a bit more respectful these days, hopefully.
Well, what's you, Talther?
I'm hanging outside with Alwyn. I'll let Charlie head in.
Okay.
Let Katerina head in.
Okay. So you guys are standing outside. Katerina, you head inside. It is a very short wait before one of the more senior priestesses comes back and says, Mother Agatha would care to meet with you.
All right.
So you are brought in.
Definitely.
She brings you back to the same kind of, you know, it's, I mean, nothing is overtly ornate in here. Everything is very practical. The priestesses of Shalia are very mission focused, as it were. And when you reach the office that Mother Agatha makes use of, you knock on the door and you can hear her stern voice from within once again. Enter.
Yeah, so Katerina comes in.
Okay. She looks up. Katerina, do you... I'm trying to remember. What is a sister at first here?
I think it's... look.
Let's see here. I think if I do my obligatory...
Initiate. It's initiate and then priest. Yes, it's initiate.
Okay. So it would be...
what do they call them? Sisters or brothers?
Yeah, I think sister probably is...
Then priest would be like mother, and then mother superior, however, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if are all priests of Shalia women? I don't know.
I the way it described it in the thing, I don't know if that's the case, to be honest.
It's probably not. I mean, I know in my campaign, one of the characters is, because the Temple of Shalia has helped him time and time again.
Yeah.
He's given his devotion to them. So he's
right. That's in the what do you call it? That's one of the characters from the Enemy Within.
Yeah.
Then definitely that's canonical. That it's not all women.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's see here. Is there? I'm checking the core book to see if there is a title thing in here. I do not see that. No. Okay. So we'll say sister.
So it's up to you.
So then when you walk in, Mother Agatha says, "Please sit. I wish to hear of your travels to the lands of the Durenbachs and Kreutzfelds."
Yeah, I explained, the mundane stuff, travels in the coaches, and I don't think we were in the coaches. We were like behind, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, from where the priest of Sigmar was killed.
Yeah, and then I explained that there was an incident on the road. There are several incidents on the road. I explained the mutant attacks, because there was like a false mutant attack first, if I recall correctly, and it was a while ago. And then I explained that the priest of Sigmar died. We had to we investigated this. We had to stop, and it turned out to be a huge ruse. And the two, I guess, is that right? The two lovers had a plot and they escaped.
Yeah, it was the eldest, or the one of the daughters of one of the families, and then I think it was the daughter of one of the Durenbachs.
Yeah.
And who was in love with one of the Kreutzfelds.
Okay.
Jakob, I believe.
Yeah, and we were just too hard pressed to give chase, and there was the fallen that I had to help and deal with. I did tell her that at some point you might have a visit from that guy that I saved.
Aaron Stressdorf.
Yeah.
The mercenary. So
Yep.
what Mother Agatha will ask then, once you sort of explain everything that's happened with them, so the heir to the Kreutzfeld and the eldest daughter of the Durenbachs, a former member of our order, has...
Yes, ma'am.
leaving the younger Kreutzfeld as heir, and I think the Count was, or Baron, I think the Baron was hopeful that this would see a end to the strife between those families and lucrative exploitation of their minds. And you say there's a former man-at-arms who will be returning as well. Oh, did we lose Carl?
Camera's gone.
Yeah, camera's gone. Roll 20. He's still in the call for now. Let me take a look here. Yeah, I'll post this here in the event he needs to rejoin. Just dropped from the call, so we'll give him a sec. Oh, okay. There we go. All right, can you hear us again, Carl?
Yeah, sorry.
No, no worries. Where did I lose you?
The continued strife.
Oh, sure. She was summarizing the circumstance. All right. So what she had said was that the second son on the Kreutzfeld side is the survivor, and there is the son on the Durenbach side who likewise is likely to maintain the strife between the families. The elder of both still remain, and there are mutants, you say, rife in those lands.
Yes, it seems that they've given over to the dark powers.
So just, do you remember, are you making that assumption based on them being mutants, or did you see anything where they were invoking the
I thought
powers?
they cast spells. I thought that one of them cast spells or something.
Nope. Nope.
He summoned them, didn't he? I mean, he called them.
He called them with a whistle, yeah.
Yeah.
But there was no...
I guess it would be... I guess it would probably be... If possible, then
it's reasonable for your character to assume that, like, if there's mutants, they go hand in hand with ruinous powers, because that's just sort of what you expect. But you did not actually witness anyone. There was no invocation of any of the ruinous powers. There was no, like, calling out to any of their four names, and there was no sorcerer among their numbers either.
Okay, so it's possible then. It'd be more of a speculation.
Yeah, I mean, you do know that they tried to kill you guys a second time.
Yeah,
they did attack you that second time on the way back. So there is no question about there is definitely some hostility there.
Right. But
they did put on sort of a play act for the first attack. It's been quite some time, but you remember they had that rehearsed speech that sounded so stilted when they made their initial foray in. But nevertheless, so I guess, how would Katerina characterize that? Would she just say that it's like she assumes it's the ruinous powers taking route there, which is, again, like a completely fair read of the situation? Or would she make the distinction between mutants and cultists?
She'd make the distinction. So she would say it's possible that they've given themselves over to the dark powers, but like you just pointed out, I'd say there was no evidence or calling out of one of the names of the four, or any sorcery, any foul sorcery. It just being attacked by mutants. And as you know, I think the belief of Shali is that you're not condemned as a mutant.
If
right? I guess you're condemned by society, but that doesn't mean you worship the cult, the chaos powers. Yeah.
So Mother Agatha has been listening very carefully to everything you say.
Mm-hmm.
The initial show of arms by these unfortunates, you think it was not a bona fide attack upon there, something that was done for theater.
Yes.
And yet they did attack you and the other representatives when you were trying to leave their lands.
Yeah, yes, that is correct.
Why do you think they tried that second time?
Because we would report back what happened.
So
strategically, at the very least, they could keep their activities hidden for a time. Although I'm sure by the time we had gotten to the coaching end, it had already spread, this disaster.
So desperation. That is most unfortunate. Is there anything else? What do you think will come of the Durenbachs and the Kreutzfelds based on what you saw?
I'm sure one party or the other is going to want to take definitely instability. The one party or the other is going to want to take their revenge, whether it's justified or not. And there would be continued strife. And I guess I don't know if it's an army, but a band of mutants in those areas that are going to be causing trouble.
And you say that Dorothy Durenbach, our former sister, she was the mastermind behind the murder.
I think that is a conclusion that we came to, yes.
Do you think that if we approached, that she would permit a parley between our church and her mutants?
It's possible.
The intent of the Baron was for there to be stability between the families, and it seems there is great cause for strife between the two, renewed now. And when news reaches the sort of, she would know the name. Let's give me a second to quickly flip to it. When word reaches Lector Gurmund, who is the ranking priest of Sigbar here, the murder of a senior priest in the presence of mutants.
That's going to be...
I expect they will call for a crusade against them. And the Sigmarites, and the followers of the Hammer, are effective in their discharge of their duty. They are not subtle. And like their namesake, they break things. Katerina,
Yes.
your service in this is admirable, and your failure to see your task through, it is clear to me that it is due to no fault of your own. What would you do as a next response to these circumstances?
Well, definitely, I would be willing to help reaching out to these people. It doesn't have to be an all-out war. The danger of crusade that is more disruptive. I mean, and that is what Sigmarites do, I guess. But it would be good to call for patience and see if we can find an accommodation. Plus further investigation if they are indeed given over to the ruinous power as well.
Indeed. If there is something more afoot here, I think exterminating a camp of vagabond mutants will not reveal any greater power at play. Perhaps
Right.
with a more measured approach, we may be confident that this is just a group of unfortunates put in a desperate situation. Sister, you will be elevated to priestess and accorded the respect and responsibilities that come with this. I cannot speak to what the Baron's will shall be, but I think it beneficial that it will be myself and the Wave Lord Otto who shall present these developments to the Baron. We may lend a more measured perspective to it and may propose a solution involving all of the priesthoods and not simply a crusade by the Sigmarites. So you can adjust you get the trappings that you get from being a priestess, Katerina, and you can adjust your social rank to being equal to a priestess now.
So
I think you go up to like either silver or gold.
Silver 1.
Nice. Moving up in the world.
Yep.
Then, you mentioned also this business in Oldenleeds.
Yeah, I explained I do tell about the box too.
Oh, the box.
Yeah. And so we were, as I will describe how we met Magister von Fieldad, but we have been directed several times to take this box, which seems to have some sort of dark necromantic power. One of my companions, you know him, Alwyn, he has that lovely dog companion, Astrid.
Yes, I've seen him in the...
He is carrying this box currently, but we were directed to take it to the Temple of Moor. He is outside waiting if you want to look at it, or the Temple of Moor, or the von Fieldad's ally here in Salzenmund, and I give the name.
Yeah, the Magistra.
Yeah. Yes, so there is that. We found it on the road. It seems that it killed the courier, slowly deteriorated. And we were, I guess, because we were kind to him, we were the heirs to his goods, and we inherited this box.
That is unfortunate that he met such a unhappy end. But and it is fortunate to have the ear of a wizard as well. Though I know High Priest Vigeland quite well from the Temple of Moor.
So perhaps an introduction, if you have the time.
Certainly.
Mother Superior.
I think if this box has a malevolent effect on those who bear it, and if you shared about your dreams of Nehekara, she says that is a most dark deed. In his youth, High Priest Vigand was, so I said Vigeland, it's Vigand. High Priest Vigand, Father Vigand, was a member of the Order of the Shroud. Sorry, he was a member of the Knights of the Knights Raven, and a staunch foe of the undead. He will know best how to address this and whether the involvement of the Magistra is necessary. Carl, can you still hear us? Nope, he's fluctuating again.
Yeah, internet issues.
Yeah. So give him a second here. He was back pretty quick last time.
Yeah.
Oh, he just dropped from the call. Yeah, I'll post a chat for him again. There we go. That's weird. I don't remember Carl's internet being like this before.
Been there, done that. We've all got a T-shirt.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I mean...
Yeah, no worries, Carl. Okay, what did you miss, or where did I leave you?
I was going to explain. I was explaining what happened in Odinleitz.
Right. So did you remember her mentioning Father Vigand?
Yes, the priest of Moor and the Raven,
former Knights Raven. He will be able to. What her the long and short is she said you could go and see him. He may have a good judgment on what should be done with it, and if there is a value in contacting the Magistra, he may have some insight there.
Right. So I do give her like the full report.
Yeah.
So it makes for a fantastic. What do they call them now? Novel? Is that what we call them now in the South?
Yeah. Said, well, a play by oh gosh, what's his name that they? I can't remember the name of the playwright that always comes up in the Gotrek and Felix books.
Oh right.
Yeah. Oof. I don't remember offhand. It's been a while since I listened to it. Although I know their stats are in the Dwarven setting book.
I know, it's so awesome.
Yeah. I'm really pleased.
Is it Detlef Sirk?
Yeah, Detlef Sirk. That's right. Detlef Sirk play. Yeah. All right. So then, it would make a wonderful
Detlef Sirk production.
Do you feel that you had a sister? I know you were there a brief period, but it seems that you became quite involved with the locals in Oldenleitz.
Yeah, I explained to her. Yes, I did. During the downtime, I did go and I did perform the duties that a Shalian priest would, and tend to the sick and mendicant in the less fortunate areas. And I tell her about we learned about this Elven strife, which I guess is more than I think I would know as a layperson. And I think we made an alliance with these the nomadic elves in a way. Our group did, at least.
The elves who allied themselves with the Skaven.
Yeah, I don't not agree with that, but I don't know if it is greed or desire for their ancient artifacts, which is probably maybe, I don't know.
Corrupting voice of the ruinous powers speaks to those who want and those who are desperate. It is good that you turned them from what could have been catastrophe in Oldenleed's. I think your first task then, Sister Katerina, shall be to organize a relief mission to travel to Oldenleeds. I would wish that you remain here in Salzenmund until we receive word from the Baron as to how he wishes to address this issue with the Durenbachs and Kreutzfelds. But I wish you to organize and instruct a relief mission to Oldenleeds. You have done great work there, and we would see it continued, particularly if there are those suffering from any ill effects from the presence of the corrupting Skaven, or from the collapse that you described. I trust I can leave that with you.
Yes.
Then, anything else from your very eventful travels that you think I should consider?
At this moment, I cannot recall. We are tired. Oh, we have a new acolyte, perhaps, and I tell him about the slut incident in the.
So she, as you explain it, she says, so someone in service, a friend of the initiate of Manan?
Oh, I was talking about Johann, actually, but.
Oh, Johann. Okay, yeah. So that's wonderful. Then, yes.
Well, I mean, I did talk about Alwyn and Halther and the mighty dwarf, and we found one of. I mentioned Ruthard. I mean, if he was an orphan in Salzman, it's possible he could have run through the temple at some point.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, and Rudy was a friend of Talther's. They both came from pretty rough circumstances.
Talther got snatched up in his attempt to be a smuggler and was like, "You're going to be a priest now."
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So then you, unless there is anything else you wish to ask of Mother Agatha, she then will provide you. She will send word to. Father Viegand, and you will have an introduction to the priesthood of Moor. She once again congratulates you on your task, and she once again congratulates you on the promotion that you received within the church as well. So.
Yes, I'm sure there'll be a proper ceremony later, but we have to report.
Yeah, so you'll be having
our other responsibilities.
One thing you guys consider, there's probably going to be about a week of time here, so we're going to do a downtime activity as well. So you guys will have an opportunity to do that as things are going through. During that time, you'll go through the full investiture to become a priestess of Shalia. That would also recognize your rank, but yeah, that'll be. Something that'll happen over the course of the coming week. Then, Talther, are you checking in as well this evening?
Absolutely.
Okay. Then,
making my donation to the temple because, they get a share of the money that I earn on my adventure.
Okay. Ooh, I think I've used
Gold crown.
Okay, Brother Ervig was the guy you accompanied turns out he's also that's the illustration for the very important priest in here. So I'm just going to rename his handout.
Well, Talther is a very common name, so.
Yeah, fair enough. So why don't we do this, guys? Let me rename this thing to Wave Lord. Oopsies. Auto Cedar. And then we'll take our mid-session break, because better to do that than start your debrief with the Wave Lord. Auto Cedar. There we go. So
Talther's going to be going in there a bit humbled because he's still under that 9-day reduction of prayer from Anon. So.
Oh yeah, jeez.
Got another week of that left.
Is that where you cannot call on?
No, I got a -10 to my prayer stat.
Oh,
so.
Got it. Okay, cool. All right, then. So for those listening at home, we'll be back in about 10 minutes. All right. Nope. Oh, thanks, Archer. I saw it. And hi, everybody in chat. Hope you guys are having a great weekend thus far. I can mention my obligatory shout out to the Dark Eye. One of the things I do like about the Dark Eye, it gives you a table that has all the sort of honorifics.
Dark Eye?
Yeah, yeah. The ways of addressing the different members of it. So how like a wizard is addressed, how a priest is addressed, and whatnot. I do really, I really like that. And, it would be nice to have something similar for this. All right. I think you guys will. So you could turn your mind to what you're going to do with your downtime. There is also something. Alwyn, are you planning on waiting outside the Temple of Manan while Talther meets with his higher ups as well?
Yeah, probably. I don't really know the Temple of Manan yet.
We're all kind of salty.
Yeah, a little bit watery for my liking, but yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Especially with Astrid, I think that's a bit disrespectful, taking the dog in there.
Well, it's mostly rats we don't like inside.
I should probably be quite good at helping with that, but...
Okay, so I'm just trying to find where... 17...
If you're asking who's going to be ambushed outside the temple, then it's me.
Yeah, I figured as much. That's...
Yeah.
So we call you Darren Perpetual Short Straw Green. So... Let's see.
Yeah, sorry about that. Amy was excited about the Dune stuff. She already made her character.
Oh, that's great. What is it? The Dune Awakening?
Yeah, Dune Awakening.
Oh, yeah, that game's... It's the same designers as Conan Exiles. I fucking love Conan Exiles. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she'll probably record a session of her playing.
Great.
At some point.
Yeah,
we also want to play. We also want to run. I think because we're taking a break from Twilight 2000.
Yeah.
So after like a almost 5-year run, and then we're gonna play Dune. I think try a couple of the Dune.
Nice. I'll be interested to hear how it goes. I'm not sure if you checked out the quick start for that Heroes of Might and Magic one.
Yeah, I did some. I got the playtest materials.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, I got it printed. I want to run it. It looks, the reason I mentioned it, because it looks like kind of a midway between the sort of like high level abstraction that they have in Dune and the more concrete stuff you see in all the rest of the things. It's a little more crunchy than the John Carter one, even. But like it's about the same level as what Dishonored and
Dishonored,
it was. So, but it is neat because it has that same kind of like operating on multiple levels where you're like you have armies and you have individual actions and whatnot.
Like Dune. Dune is like...
It's just that it's a lot more structured than what I think the Dune was, because after getting it and liking what I read, I grabbed my Dune books again and I'm like, oh, I still don't understand how to run this game. So I'll be interested to hear how it comes together for you.
Yeah, I guess like I might. People like to see action, so I might like import some ideas from other games for like the fighting part, because the fighting part is very abstracted in Dune also, right? So I might actually, go to like the cohorts or Octoon do a really good job of that to me. And you could easily calculate like stress levels and all that kind of stuff. I want to be more granular.
That's good too. Archer just mentioned it's the thumbnail is Death Watch. It's because I fucked up when we played Death Watch last night and I forgot to change it this morning. So thanks, Archer. I'll change that after the stream to make sure it's the correct one. Death Watch is fucking awesome last night. There's a comment.
There's a comment. I remember when I was playing it a long time ago. Oh, how can you role play? A bunch of Space Marines or whatever. And actually, it was the most immersive game that I had to date, because there were people that I played with were really into 40K and the verse and had armies and all that kind of mini stuff, and they were talking in character, and I've never seen my home groups talking like character, talking like they were Space Marines.
So it also has like of the
It's
we
good.
were talking about this last night, but it's funny that it's the Space Marine game is the one that has the most clearly implemented role play narrative metacurrency, because like there's a demeanor mechanic is not in the other 40k games. So the last thing I'll mention is I've been
cool.
reading Vampire 5 quite a bit lately, because
I've never played. Yeah, I don't think I've ever played. I've never played. Honestly,
I've only run it once for John and for Robert, and it was a great session. But the neat thing they do is like the way that they have sliding scales for complexity in combat, so you can choose to have it just be like basic just dice mechanics if it's a quick kind of scene, or if you want to have an involved scrap going back and forth, you can incorporate more of the rules in. But it's a neat way of kind of being like, make the scene as complex as is necessary for it. There's probably a lesson there that you could draw for Dune as well too, right? Like for drawing on more stuff from some of the other 2D20 games if you feel it's necessary for the scene. But if it's just a like quick running through something and you still want to engage those mechanics, you can just keep it bare bones too. So
cool. I guess it probably depends on the content. So I probably talk to the players about it and see.
So awesome.
We also finished our Peru/Germania chapter last night.
Oh, awesome! How'd it go?
That's good. I mean, I'll see what we want to do. I mean, I think they want to actually fast forward to start the campaign. So
that's awesome.
So America is going to be Rome, or New York's going to be Rome, obviously. So that's the obvious choice.
Nice.
So that's definitely it's going to be interesting trying to figure that out and convert it. So.
Cool. And Cohorts played well.
I like Cohorts is good. I like that system. It's a good game.
Cool.
Yeah,
all right.
It's relatively quick,
Nice.
And it's got a good pulpy feel. You can, the heroes feel heroic. Yeah, I think.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it should be arriving in print later this year, so hopefully the Kickstarter awards will finally can come out for it. But all right, so then Talther, you are heading off. I was trying to find. I can't find on the map.
Oh, it's the big temple there. I looked.
Oh, 18, right.
Yeah,
oh my God. Like all the 17 and whatnot is all over here.
Yeah.
The 19 is in here. So yeah, okay. So there you go.
It's the Temple of Manon Resplendent.
Yes.
So it's a fancy
all right, so
temple.
as a reminder, the temple of the Cathedral of Manon Resplendent stands atop the Valkaberg, I guess. The Cathedral of Manon is a testament to the sea god's importance in Nordland. A high belfry overlooks the city, and on a clear day with a telescope, you can see the sea from the northern arch. The building is fashioned from stone quarried from Eiger Bay, carved with wave reliefs and stylized representations of fish and shells. These are punctuated with broad windows styled as stone portholes. The Lustrian hardwood main doors are flanked by 2 pools of seawater full of kelp and saltwater fish. The interior is dark, lined with weathered stone and lit only by sea lanterns and narrow streams of sunlight coming in through the round windows. The chancel is shaped like the prow of a great ship facing north, which represents the temple as a great vessel carrying worshippers towards their god's realm. There are a handful of living barnacles growing on the interior stonework, and the hammer beam roof incorporates figureheads from celebrated Nordland ships. I think we actually have...
Talther, as always, as he approaches this thing, he feels like the pressure of a gathering storm that's just waiting to break overhead.
A migraine. I totally understand that feel.
Oh, well.
No, I'm kidding.
A long time since I used that picture.
Yeah, you guys have been a while since you've been back. Oh, yeah, geez, yeah, the old illustrations, too. There we go. Look at that. Okay, so... Talther, as you come back in, you are greeted. You may remember you're a bit of a black sheep among some of the rank and file here. So it is a bit of a like, like they don't say it, but there's a bit of like, oh, I thought you were dead. Look to what's going on. But when word gets to the Wave Lord, you are ushered through into his quarters, and you present before him. Now, I don't think you've met the Wavelord yet, have you?
I have not.
Okay. So what I'll tell you is that in person, the Wavelord Otto is more polished and guarded than the average Mononite priest, lacking the brine and bluster that characterizes their caste. He's usually arrayed in expensive priestly robes decorated with nautical imagery, integrated into fine woven blue, turquoise, and white brocade. Is that word pronounced brocade or brocade? I actually don't know. No.
They're leaning towards the former.
Okay. Cider always... I should be Cedar, I guess. Cedar always carries his badges of office, a staff topped with a silver trident, and a gilded block and tackle engraved with intricate patterns. He has a sharp expression and wears his beard long and forked. So you're brought into his office, and you can imagine this looks something akin to like the stone equivalent of a captain's quarters on a great sailing vessel. And as you come in, he says...
It's the first time I've been in this room.
Yeah. So he is going to make a impressive appearance as you're led in by one of the other priests. And he says, Talther, you have returned.
Get to a knee and give him a bow. Yes, Wavelord. Long overdue, but I have returned.
And we will welcome you the way we always welcome those who have returned from voyage. He goes over and collects some rum.
Nice.
Pours it out for you, and you take a shot. A dram, I guess.
Yep.
And then he pours a second and gestures to a small, table around which there are some chairs set. He sets himself down into the grandest of the high-back chairs, but it's a pretty impressive chair you're sitting in.
I'll wait for him to be seated, then I'll sit down.
Sit.
And kind of run my hands along the glass.
You were charged with the mission to the families on the border of the Loradon, yes?
I was.
And what is your report?
It's both complex and the noble families are caught up in an issue dealing with the mutants. One of their sons had harbored creatures on his land and were involved with the youngest daughter of the other, and were putting on a masquerade of sorts.
The youngest son of... This is the Kreuzfelds.
Yes.
He is corrupted.
He showed no physical signs, but he was able to command the group of mutants that showed up to put a farce of an attack. And then later on, we were attacked for real by these creatures.
The initial attack, what do you mean by that?
I believe it was more of a show of force. The stilted voices were obviously a practiced speech.
And why such a ruse? To what end?
I'm not certain, but
so
power grab?
Just because it's been such a long time, as a reminder, it seems like that may have been a distraction so that Dorothy could kill the priest of Sigmar.
Well, he'll say, I believe it was, as these always are, a play for power, but mostly a distraction to take out a rival. And
a rival?
Authority. The priest.
And who was he a rival to?
I think less of a rival of status or it was more of like the priest was in his way and he needed to get him out of his way.
So just out of character, who do you mean by he, John?
The Sorry. The son.
Right, but your understanding, it's not him who arranged the murder, though. It's Dorothy.
Oh, I did forget that.
That's right, I thought. So, just as a reminder, because, again, it's been a while, what you guys concluded was that Dorothy was the one who killed him. Remember, she apologized to him. He didn't know that she was behind the murder, and she did it because if the priest found out that he was a mutant, that's fucking it for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just trying to go through my old notes here. They're stilted. No,
that's fine. And again, it's been a long time since we played that. And you guys had a lot of stuff happen in Olden Leeds. Yeah. So that's the long and the short of it, is that the first time it came in, they gave a show of force and you know, or like a that stilted kind of thing. During that time is when Dorothy murdered the thing. Every other summary you have was correct, that she then and him disappeared under the cover of that second attack from the mutants. Yeah. And then as you guys were trying to leave, that's when that third attack came.
Gotcha. Yeah, so, Tyler doesn't attempt to hide anything from the Wave Lord. He puts his own like little spin on it from his perspective.
The only reaction that you really see, the obvious reaction, is when you tell him about the murder of the Sigmarite priest. Mm-hmm. That's a...
because the priest was murdered, Katerina, Ashalia, and myself decided we would have to step up and resolve this issue as best we could.
And rather than travel to this destination, you allowed the group to dissipate, go back to their squabbles.
Oh, although loath to admit it, we were in no shape to follow them. The burden we chose to take on was greater than we could bear at the time. And
what burden did you take on?
I'll tell him about the box that we found.
But that was after you chose to abandon the task you were charged with.
We were not physically... I don't believe we were physically capable of tracking them down. And
just again, sorry, John, as a reminder, just because what might benefit you, remember the two families were like, fuck it, we're going back to deal with this, and each was blaming them. So he's trying to present it as if like, well, why didn't you guys get them together? Both of the families were like, forget it, and blaming each other, and both were going back.
That's right.
Yeah, so like, no. It's been a long time. I mean, we played in a lot of games, so let's go back into the role play of it then. So with that in mind, this guy's pushing you. Why didn't you complete the task?
The families were seeking someone to blame and fell back into old habits to blame each other, and we do not have the status necessary to persuade them that they should not blame one another.
The Sigmarites insisted that their man lead these negotiations. Continue.
So then when our mission was incomplete, I believe that's when we stumbled across the box. And I'll tell them that we found this box of magical nature, and I believe that's when we were heading to the other city, and tell him that we got caught up in a large it's like a domino effect. It just cascaded into Skavens. I'm sure you're aware of Skavens, Wavelord. Rumored for most people but the dwarves, where they exist, had infiltrated a city through the sewers, and we got caught up in a, for lack of a better word, a crusade to purge them. We ended up drowning them out by flooding the sewers and the tunnels below.
His big bushy eyebrow kind of arcs up at that. You drowned the rats.
After many bloody encounters with them, yes.
He'll ask you some particulars about it. Like what you do you have a... It's not a religion check, I don't think, on this.
I think it's a lore Manon or theology Manon.
If you got lore Manon or theology Manon, why don't you give us an easy check on that?
I do. I did actually put ranks into that.
Great.
Oh yeah,
Incredible.
thank goodness.
So what you know is that Otto Cedar, before he became the Wavelord, he was a navigator on the great ship, the Conqueror's Triumph, which sailed the world's oceans on behalf of the Emperor. He was a member of the Cult of Manon's Order of the Albatross, the priestly caste of navigators and pilots. On board the Conqueror's Triumph, he measured the stars and plotted many a course around the world. It's said to have visited the Southlands, Araby, Albion, and even the Assur port of Lothern. So he has been all over the fucking place. He no doubt knows about the Skaven in ways that some other less traveled folks do. And in particular, the approach he seems to have a fair bit of understanding of siege warfare. So he does ask you a fair bit about the particulars of how this happened. Yeah. When he concludes, he gets up, he goes over to his cupboard, opens it up, and he brings out a different, about 3/4 full amber-colored bottle with amber-colored liquid inside. He insists that your Triumph in Oldenleeds is worthy of spiced rum. So he puts something down. It is his special reserve that he delivers to you. It burns unlike anything that you think you have experienced thus far, and you are grateful that it is only one shot of it that you are offered.
Can make a consume alcohol check here shortly.
Yeah.
Talthir, he'll say, this honors me greatly. In my zealotry to drown these Skavens, as you may know, my doom was drowning. I may have pushed my favor with Manon a bit further, and he is displeased with me at the moment. But he is fickle. He may change his mind shortly.
Manon is as the tides. What is now is not what always will be.
Talthir will sell him. I've always been akin to the rivers, but in my dealings with the Skavens, I felt a calling to the sea. I'm sure you would understand.
I do. Sen, was there anything else in this eventful trip?
Yes, what cued us to come back. I've been planning to return for many days. Is this box that we found? We took it to a gold wizard that we met in our endeavor, and it reeks of necromancy. And we are carrying it back to a priest of Moor. Unless you would like to handle...
The grim servants are more ably positioned to deal with such things. I did not know that... Is there one among you who has a connection with the priests of Moor?
Other by word of mouth, no. We don't have a priest of Moor in our entourage.
You don't... I think you could probably... Katarina would probably have told you guys that it's the... Mother Agatha was going to provide an introduction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you want to...
He will mention that Katarina of Charlia has got us a letter to...
Yeah, so the Wavelord nods approvingly. Good. Let us start then with the beginning. This task which you were put to. I must speak to Mother Agatha and discuss how to present things to the Baron. You have met the survivors of this. I have no doubt that the reaction of the Sigmarites will be fire and a call to arms. But what would you do?
I'm uncertain in this time. Wars and fighting is sometimes required.
If you hear the call of the sea does not wait for contemplation. The sea calls for action. So I ask again, what would you do?
Well, I go where the wind and waves take me.
That is not an answer for a sailor. That is an answer for flotsam. What would you do?
If there's war to be had, then I will rise to fight it.
And you think that's the best disposition of this?
I'm still young in the ways of Manon, Wavelord.
So, Talther, you would be aware, if you dither and you don't take a position, you're kind of not advocating to become a priest then. A priest must act with decisiveness. You need to make a decision.
It is my own flesh holding me back, Wavelord, but I say we fight. Their change is coming, and if we do not change with it, we will be washed away by it.
So you would ally with the Sigmarites and ride against these mutants, cleanse those lands. What would you do of the families?
The ones that harbor them? Well, the sea is always hungry.
Speak plainly. I am not among the flock.
Well, their lives are forfeit. They will either face Sigmarite justice or Manon's. The Manon is not as merciful.
If you think the Sigmarites merciful, you may have an opportunity yet to see their mercy up close. This box, you intend to see this through to the priests of Moor.
Yes, it is a danger that should not be left unattended.
I agree. And I agree with your disposition of it. And these events in olden days, do you see this as an opportunity for those of the Wavelord? A tragedy, no doubt, but for those who died.
Yes, I was amongst those helping the survivors of the collapsed buildings. One of the reasons I believe Manon is a bit fickle with me at the moment is because I overstepped myself and promised his aid for the flooding of the sewers. But it is an opportunity that a seed has been planted.
Well, Manon will see his mood change as the tides do, or you will be held accountable for your hubris.
Yes.
It
This
is
was a-
he who will judge.
That is a painful lesson I have learned in this adventure, or this mission. But pain, if it does not kill us, it makes us stronger.
As I alluded to, I will need to consult with Mother Agatha, decide on how best to present things to the Baron. I do not doubt that she will not agree with a heavy-handed approach, but their kind is weak at times.
But, I have been traveling with the priestess of Shalia, hence my hesitation in certain matters. I believe she is rubbing off on me, Wavelord.
Take care to not let those tendencies infect you. If you truly are one of the wave of Manan, it is his voice you must answer to. Perhaps your misstep may be due to that confused message. I would contemplate that.
You are the wiser, Wavelord. I will listen.
You have proven yourself wise, though, Taltha. And out of character, John, what did you go to priest, or did you go to a separate career as wave priest?
I would have a separate career. But
Okay.
I'm nearing the point where I can go to second level in wave Sailor Priest.
Okay, so you're not going to, once you actually reach that, you will be able to take that destination. You're not going to be able to wear the robe, and you're not going to be able to enjoy that status.
Oh, well, the level 2 for Sailor Priest is just a trident and a holy book of Manan rather than
No, but isn't there a
robe.
change in your status?
There is, yeah.
Yeah. So it's having those two things. That's what's going to give you access to that. He will give you access to that then, and he'll raise you to that status. Okay. Then, is there anything else you wish to discuss with the Wavelord before?
Aside from telling him that I'd probably be using my downtime to seek penance and assist the temple while I'm waiting word. Yes.
One finds favor in the Wavelord through action, not contemplation. Act as he would have you. You will find redemption.
He has blessed me with coin that he'll mumble something about thieves on the way that should make its way into the temple's hands as well.
We always welcome further bounty.
I'll hold up the little shot of what he gave me, the amber language. Like, I'm pretty sure this was worth more than the gold crown I have to offer.
I trust that you do not wish to return to your former duties. So I will...
Such a short grimace goes across his face.
I would ask that you remain here while in Salzenmund, while we seek instruction from the Baron and confer with Lector Germund of the Sigma Rites. You have equipped yourself well, Taltha, and the success against the Skaven in particular.
And by remaining here, he means in the city?
Correct.
Okay. It's like,
In that seat right there for 1 week. No.
Talther says, I do intend to escort Alwyn and Katarina to deliver that box.
The box. He gestures and says, "This is a matter for the Morites now. Don't concern yourself with trifles."
As you say.
And anything else you wish to discuss with him?
Well, I wonder how open he would be to questions about, the Sailor Priest career in general. Because he'll try to strike up a conversation about what's expected of the Sailor Priest, because he's feeling he was instructed as a priest rather than a Sailor Priest, so he feels a pull to know more.
Okay. So he'd definitely like he's happy to sit and have a drink with you. He is an old sailor after all. So, he'll share you further insight on that. Anything else you wish to discuss with him?
No, I think that wraps it. He will inquire as to the status of his old ward. Emphasis on the old.
He has a new minder.
Okay.
Anything else? You can check on him, obviously, if you'd like.
Nah, Tather would rather use his free time to rub the noses of his fellow priests in his new status.
Okay.
It's on the side.
Okay. Anything else then?
No, he said, "Thank you for your time, Wave Lord. And hopefully next time we meet, I'll have even grander stories to tell."
I hope not.
Well, I am a little ambitious, Wave Lord.
You are, I take it, not undisciplined. I have asked you to remain pending further instructions.
I will remain.
Good. Then, you may go.
Okay.
So,
stand up, bow, and then make his exit.
Okay, so you make your departure, and you're able to meet up with your allies in a moment. But first, there is something that happens while Alwyn is waiting. Remind me again, how much armor do you have in your back? No, I'm kidding.
Irrelevant.
But what happens is, as you and Katarina are waiting outside, and Katarina may have tasks, if Katarina didn't accompany you here, because she does have to instruct those people, so it may just be you waiting outside.
I got it. Yeah, she probably has to tend to duties and stuff like that.
Yeah, to get... So let's say it's just you outside, Alwyn, you and Astrid. Talther's been in there for quite a while now, and it's getting a little darker. What are you doing to kill time here?
He'd probably be having a little look at that box, because it's on his mind. Just looking at if there's any inscriptions on it, and then just probably watching people going by. Just sort of crowds sort of watching.
So you're doing that, walking back and forth, and then there's a fella who walks by who looks like he's probably a day laborer from the look of things. He walks by and he kind of does like a double take on you. And he says, "Astrid? Alwyn? It's me, Manfred." And when you're living rough, you sometimes just end up, meeting people. Manfred's another fella who would have lived a similar life to you. Not from Salzenmund originally, just making by. But he was as far as those sorts go, he's a good sort. Look at you, all fancy what?
Well, we do what we can, as they say.
He's looking a little better than what last time you saw him, too. Although he's got a kind of looks like he's got a bruise under. I mean, not unusual for street fighting.
Yeah, not looking so bad yourself, Manfred.
Well, moving up in the world, aren't I? So was you. What kind of arrows is they?
They're from the elven hands.
Elven hands? Cool. Have you gone all tough then?
Wow. I did some work for the elves in the village or a city. Not too far.
Doing work for elves out of town. You've forgotten where you've come from, at least where you laid your heads then, hey? What are you doing here for then? Have you gone... You're praying to the sea god now?
One of my companions is a priest of Manan.
Elves and priests of Manan. My God. Next
They're
time
well travelled, me and Astrid.
Oh, yeah, is you also nuzzling up with priests of Chaldea then too, eh?
Funny you should mention that.
Well, what are you waiting here for outside? You and Andy, man, then. And I had God.
No, we work. Well, we've been working on this job for the elves, and we have still business to deal with, so we've returned.
Oh, tell me, you've not gone. He looks back and forth. Looks like he's got a bad taste in his mouth. Respectable.
Well, on the face of it.
That's Yowen, I know. Well, just so happens, I might be heading to somewhere special, and because it's been such a long time since I've seen you, I would extend an invitation, even cover you. There is a fight tonight at the pits. It's 1 silver to get in. I'd even cover you, but your bets are on you, Alwyn. In fact, don't you owe me some money still? You know what? Bygones be bygones. Now that he says it, he actually may owe you some money. But bygones will let them. And what you say, Alwyn? Not the pits, eh? Just like old times? Or is this time it's a silver fight we're going to? Not none of them brass bums fighting one another. Eh?
Does have me intrigued, I must admit.
Ooh, but you got a boss man, don't ya? Eh? Got an answer to your sea priest, do ya?
No. Be assured, if I want to accompany you to this fight, then I will. In fact, I will. Yes.
There we go. Then, do you need to check in with your boss, your foreman, before we go?
Oh, I will not be rude enough to just disappear. So, you name the time and a place, and I'll be there.
He looks down. You smell that, Astrid? He smells all respectable. Checking in with his boss, making sure he knows where he goes. I didn't know your mum made her way down here, Alwyn.
Watch your tongue, Manford.
I know better than that. Your mum then is more respecting to come down. Well then, go check in with your man. Me and Astrid will keep watch. Ain't that right, Astrid?
Okay. I shall, I'll see, I'll try and...
You can just leave a message with one of the priests to leave it with Talther while he's meeting, if you want to pass that along.
Yeah, I'll, I don't know where I'm not staying anywhere.
Just like, oh, Alwyn. Indeed.
Yeah. I think the Shipwright Arms is where we've been frequenting.
Yeah, did they have rooms there?
I think you were, to be honest, I think you might have been sleeping at the mission.
Yeah, I've been sort of between the Temple of Shalia and the streets and all sorts. But if
you've got money now, hold on, there actually is.
Yeah, the Shipwright Arms. If it's got accommodation there, then
let's see here.
I'll probably spoil myself.
There is some great stuff in the source book of where to stay. So let me just check here. Okay, visitor's guide. Here we go. It's not in the fancy places. That is for sure. Not in the hospice, I assume. And got Market Hall. Laughing Frog. I genuinely can't remember if this was a place in the source book or if it's something that we made up. I suspect it's something in here because we were trying to make use of all the... well, maybe not. Huh. Okay, then I think that you can stay there too. It's probably not the nicest place, but it definitely is a step up over the back alley, and is likely the kind of place if you're coming back from the pits afterwards. There is likely to be some intoxication and drinking. And the Steinhofen pits that you're heading, what you know is it is located. Steinhofen pits, I believe, are... Nope, not turn order. You're not being attacked yet. It gets it right there at 25.
Hmm.
Yeah, Trout and Anchor Inn is at 13. Are you fine with the more down and out place to stay, Alwyn, or you want to stay somewhere nicer?
No, I think we'll slowly work our way up. So
Okay.
Go with the down and out. It's
Honest
room.
Burger Inn is also in. So there's the Honest Burger Inn down here, and there is the Trout and Anchor. Located. Ooh, these numbers just fucking jump all over the place. Golly. Okay, so it's right up here. So really two ends of the city. That's the Trout and Anchor, and then down there is the Honest Burger.
Yeah, I mean, if that's close by, then I might just go and get a room and drop off all my sort of stuff that I don't want to carry.
Sure.
Like the box and things like that.
Yeah, the closest would probably be that Trout and Anchor.
Yeah, I'll just go for that then, if I remember that being close
Sure.
by.
Let me see if... Oh, Visitor's Guide. The Trout and... Oh, there's way more places that don't happen to be on there. Yeah, it's average. The Trout and Anchor is an average place. Honest Burger is also average. So, for those who are curious, page 39 of the core book is... Or the Salzenmund book. All right. So then you make your way... get yourself checked in there. Manfred is quite happy with it, and I do not have the illustration loaded. He pays for your entrance to this, but if there's, as he said, if there's any betting that you want to do, it's going to be on you to finance that.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. It is... It's a great illustration of the pits.
Mm. Wow.
The Steinhofen pits are owned and operated by a Nordlander, a Norscan, who brings in Norscan champions for the bloody entertainment for new folks. They've always been a popular form of entertainment in Salzenmund, undoubtedly a legacy of the Norscan influence. The two arenas are circular fighting pits open to the elements and surrounded by stepped seating where the crowds watch from a fairly safe distance. Entrance can cost anything from 2 brass pennies for an afternoon contest between amateurs to 2 gold crowns for a major or particularly spectacular match. So you can get a judge of, because you're spending a silver to get in, where that kind of fits in that spectrum.
Yeah.
There is a larger-than-life statue of Red Helm Nixa at the gate, arms thrown wide in triumph and looking suitably ferocious. So it's about, picture any, live boxing or live wrestling match, and that's sort of the energy you're going to get from this. It's going to be a hell of an evening. And Do you think you got along? I mean, we've established that you and Manfred were at least, acquaintances on the streets. How do you think you get along with him?
Yeah, I think he became sort of one of the lads, drinking buddy, getting up to no good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't risk, I wouldn't put my life in his hands by any stretch, but just a fun night out, sort of.
Okay. Awesome.
Acquaintance. Yeah.
Why don't you give us a average consume alcohol check? Let's see how
Let's start it off.
it goes. Critical success. Fantastic.
Nice.
So that could reflect, I think, either a very restrained, you kept yourself under control, or it's just an absolute fucking banger of an evening.
Yeah, no, I think, he's well up for it. He wants to release some of that tension that's built up. He feels, a lot safer, even though it's not the safest environment. It's a lot safer than going into a dirty sort of poison tunnel of skaven rats with all sorts of weapons at him. So, he feels quite happy. I think that's just the mood he's in. That's, the drink's giving him some courage, and he's just well up for it.
Okay. So it's a fantastic night. Really, really great time. You're able to make your way back. You make a couple other friends as well. Talther, when you leave, you get word that Alwyn has gone out. Well, what's the message that you left for Talther, do you think?
I've met up with a friend. We're going out for the night. I'm staying at this place. Was it Trout and Anchor, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm staying there. If you want to find me first thing in the morning to visit, the priest some more.
Talther will roll his eyes and mumble something about, can't wait long enough, and this is how people get robbed.
Okay.
And he'll send a message for Katarina, so she basically, I'm assuming we're gonna all meet up where he's at in the morning.
What message?
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to send a message? Are you paying?
Yeah, I'll have one of the little acolytes deliver it. Give him 5 bronze pieces.
Well, there's prices in the core book for courier services, so you could just use that to, you don't need to
do that.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. Then so you barely become a priest of Manon, already abusing the juniors.
Well, I mean, honestly, I was told to, stick around, so I'm not gonna run around and get myself in trouble.
Okay. Talther is what's known as a cautionary hire. So you send the message over. You actually don't need to pay for it because you would have underlings you could boss around now.
Oh. And Talther is totally. He's walking with more of a straight back shoulders and who's the black sheep now kind of attitude.
Yeah.
He's not. He's not actually saying anything to his fellow priests at the moment.
Yep.
It's gone to his head already.
Yep. Just absolute nightmare to work with.
One of his biggest goals is to get status and power.
Future worshiper of Slanesh.
Exactly. Okay, so then Katarina and so everyone has Talther. You're able to stay in the kind of guest quarters in the cathedral or adjacent to it now. So you're staying there. Katarina, you're staying with the. It's a lot of. You're finding yourself getting in charge of probably about between 10 and 12 priestesses and supporting people to get the mission ready to head to Oldenleed. It's they don't want to waste any time getting out there. Alwyn, would you kindly... Where is it here? So we're trying to find something I was reading earlier this morning. Das Morgen. Where are we here? Aha. Could you give us just a flat percentile roll, please? Okay.
E6.
Yep. So, and then, actually, no, Katarina and Talther, you will not need to make this roll yet. So, you wake up, suitably hungover. We are going to be do you guys all want to be together when you deliver this thing to the Priest of Moor?
Yeah, it'd be good to do that. I think so.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So then, you guys all meet up. Talther and Katarina both have new robes, Alwyn.
Yes, we do. They're clean.
For now.
When I first see them, I'll give them both a little bow. It's like, I see some of us are going up in the world.
Yes.
Well,
Congratulations, Lady Katrina.
It's no lady to you, sir. Just priest.
Or priestess, may I now have to refer to you, maybe.
You can still call me Katarina, brother.
and
Of
I'm
course.
We still, I promise, although my duties will take me, I can explain to him, like, I'm in charge of organizing relief to Odin Reeds, but we'll still be good drinking at the Shipwrights Arms. Worry not. Or here at this place.
Sounds good.
So as you guys are getting caught up, perhaps grabbing a piece of, street meat to have as, or pasty or something like that, whatever the Salzenmund equivalent is. I'm suddenly craving a fucking pie. Again, I'm hungry this morning because I'm thinking of that, and I will tell you, Darren, there is no better doner kebab that I've found outside of the UK. It may also be influenced by long nights of drinking followed by a doner kebab. So there may be that, but that fucking mix of red sauce and lamb meat, nothing better. So the Katarina and Talther, how do you guys wish to share the news of your meetings with each other? You as the players have witnessed what each have done, but the characters, I'm curious as to whether you ask one another about so how do things go with
Yeah.
Yeah, well, definitely congratulations, Talther, on your elevation. It's well deserved. It's well deserved, and it's been some time. I'm sure we've learned on the job, in the field, as it were.
Talther will kind of loosen his collar a little bit, still unused to the new robes. He says, "Well, I thought I understood pressure until I met the Wave Lord. That man is imposing. He's got a very fine selection of alcohol."
Oh, quite nice. Mother Agatha is always kind. I apologize if it was tense for you, but
well, we serve a different patron, and Manon is fickle, so I was reprimanded just a little bit. How about yourself?
No,
not
at all.
My indecisiveness is I was warned against, has not befit a priest.
Well, I think it's always a challenge to have to make snap decisions, especially given what we've experienced. But I would say that in your defense, Talther, I mean, when we were battling the Skaven, it's not like you dithered or we'd all be dead. So
No, it's surprisingly easy to make decisions quickly in those circumstances. It's the ramifications of what comes after that one has to give thoughts to. But anyway, yeah.
Do you discuss the instructions that you guys have been given for next steps?
Yeah, I mentioned already the, organizing the relief.
And I was told to remain until new orders come in. So I'm somewhat free to assist in the meantime if anything comes up, but I will be remaining within the city.
Yes, I'm not going back to Odin Lease. I don't think, right? That's correct, right?
You're not right now, but it
possibly will have to. Yeah.
Mother Agatha's suggestion seems to be for you to return to the lands of the Durenbachs and the Kreutzfelds.
Mm-hmm.
And Talter, that does seem to be the impression, but you both have asked for different things or different approaches.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I do say, yeah, I think Mother Agatha wants to reach out to, is it Dorothy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, come to some sort of accommodation.
Yeah.
Even though I know that I'm sure that there will be some sort of crusade from the Sigmarites. So we will see.
Talther is very visibly like chewing his tongue in kind of like a nervous kind of way, and says, "The Wave Lord is sure, and myself as well, that this will not be a peaceful outcome. The Sigmarites are I think there will be violence, and if I'm honest, I think it's merited. But you know, my lord is fickle. Things may change. But I believe the Wave Lord and your Holy Mother are going to be speaking.
Yes.
What do you guys wish to do now?
We need to see the priest and more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, should we do a roll for recovering health?
Oh, yeah. You know what? You guys are unlikely to be in a fight between now and when we do the downtime. You can just restore your health back up to full.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. We're not doing like random encounters or things like that. We'll do an event that will roll because those are kind of fun, but...
Yep.
Oh, Katerina's surely blessed by her gods with all that fate she's got stocked up. Holy cow.
I know. Yeah.
So, then...
I've been pretty lucky.
Yeah, and I think that
burned.
because you had to miss a couple of sessions too, so like there's ones that were chewing up some fate. You might just miss some of the more scrappy sessions.
That's okay. Katerina will save us all.
I mean, she's been knocked down to a few times, but it just hasn't gotten to that. You know, it hasn't gotten to that where I have to perma burn.
She'll be our ace in the hole.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, my resilience and resolve is 2 and 2, right? So, no.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So then, guys, you make your way to the Temple of Mor, which
Talther wants nothing to do with that box. He doesn't even want to hold it. So.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, pirates and undead.
Does Alwyn look like he's been in a? Alwyn, you were like participating in the pit fights, right?
No, not participating.
No, it's a night out watching and betting and drinking. Yeah.
Then, I can't remember. Is there a gamble skill in this game?
Yes.
Yeah, there is.
Did you want to gamble at all, Alwyn?
It would have been minor amount, but yeah, he'd have probably given a little go.
Sure. So why don't you give us a
couple of silver. There is a gamble, yeah.
So why don't you give us a, let's see. It's funny because I'm thinking the dark eye. I'm like, give us an empathy check. I'm like, that is not intuition. Check, please, first. This will tell us the difficulty. Intuition will be at average for you.
Intuition at average.
Critical success. All right. Your gamble check is going to be easy.
Nice.
Here we go.
Very cool.
Pick the right person here then, hopefully. So 2 silver I'll chuck in.
Okay. Awesome.
Very nice.
So you can gain, you said 2 went in, you got 4 silver back.
So gain 2.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you put 2 in, you gain 4. Sorry, 4 profit. I was not being clear.
Oh, right, sorry. Okay, yeah. Cool.
All right. Okay. Then you guys make your way to the Garden of Moor, which is in this section here. And within the garden itself, the walls around the garden are tall and made from the same dark stone as the low temple, the low and somber building festooned with robed gargoyles. That is the Temple of Moor. It is a spiritual gate to the afterlife and a physical gate to the enclosed cemetery and catacombs. The walls around it are made of the same dark stone with crenellations resembling a defensive bastion. This is significant, a legacy of the ancient threat of Dieter Helsnecht, which reverberates down through the centuries. Since his defeat at the Battle of Bekerhoven in 1244 IC, the Cult of Moor have posted a contingent of Black Guard to monitor any potential return of the Doom Lord or those inspired by his legend. So when you guys approach, there is a priest of Moor who, and I think I don't have a...
Lothar always gets nervous around the priests of Moor.
Yeah.
Well, they give you doom.
Yeah. It's sure there's not any water in my lungs. It's fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine, I'm sure. I thought I had an illustration of the Priest of Moor that we had in a previous in that Rough Night of the Three Feathers thing, but I guess I didn't bring it in.
Yeah, there was 3 of them, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those guys. Yeah, I remember
Let
that.
me take a look at the... Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh, yeah, they are
Happy bunch.
very interesting. Yeah. Let me move this down. Okay. All right, guys, here are the Orions.
Oh wow, they look very happy.
Mm-hmm.
Witch doctors, yeah.
So, one of them answers the doors, probably something akin to the one on the right there with the skull mask on, or answers the thing. And he sees the two of you. Welcome, Your Grace. Your Grace. What brings you to the Garden of Moor?
Has a letter been sent ahead, or I have the letter?
You probably could just say you're a priest. You're expected to be telling the truth. So if you say,
yes, I'm a Katerina of Shalia. I have business here in the temple. There should have been word sent ahead by Mother Superior, Mother Agatha, to your master, or I don't know, the master, the proper term, to the head of your order, the high priest.
High Priest Vigand.
Yes. We have an artifact.
I see. Come in. Come in. So he leads you inside and leads you through the temple and then out into the garden itself. Please wait here, and I will return. And he leaves. And it's about maybe 10-15 minute wait of you looking among the graves that populate the Garden of Moor when a man returns, and he is quite old, so he's probably in his late 70s, early 80s, but he carries himself with a fair bit of... He carries himself with the posture of someone who, you know, has been fit his entire life and remains into his senior age. He says, "Welcome, I am Vigand Tidegger, High Priest of Mor. He's dressed very similar, dark robes, probably some face paint and stuff. It was Mother Agatha who sent you. Katerina?
Yes, High Priest.
Please,
And
please join me in the temple. And brings you into the temple, brings you into an office room, and then asks you to sit down. He looks over. What is your dog's name?
Astrid.
Oh, she's a very well-behaved dog.
Well trained. Sometimes.
As all good dogs should be. Tell me, Katerina, Mother Agatha indicated there is a object that has come into your possession.
yes, I explained to him how it came to our possession. The courier seemed to have traveled from Tilea and then from Arab. Before that, this item may be from Araby or points further south. I explained to him my dream as well. And I asked Alwyn then to present the item. And also tell him the name of the person that we had to whom the item was to be delivered.
This is all of great help. And he gestures. Have you any further information about the courier? He passed.
Yes, some sort of wasting disease, but none that I had any experience with. Though I've only been recently elevated to priest, so.
His mortal remains, they are at the inn, buried?
Yes.
Out back?
Oh, buried at the end, yes. I don't know if we had any, apologies, I don't know if we had any control over the say-so of that. It was at this coaching inn. And
those who have passed into Mor's domain are within our realm of responsibility, not your own.
yes.
You are not to be faulted for that. But we may send one of ours to secure the remains. There may be further to be gained from it. And he gestures. Your intent was to deliver this to our charge.
Yes.
We believe that you would know what to do with it if it needs to be destroyed, and maybe also look into the person who was looking to receive this and what their involvement is.
I take from your accent. Carl, can you hear us? Let me drop down. I take from your accent, you are not from Salzenmund.
No.
You, Your Grace, you are, she gestures to you, Talther. You are from here, yes?
Yes. Grew up in the streets.
So
and
you
then
know our
church.
history with the dead.
More than I like.
We do not, Alwyn, treat these matters lightly. If there is a devotee of necromancy among the river folk, we will find them and ferret out whatever cult there may be. Such things must be drawn out and destroyed. And for them to have contact.
Right.
I wish not to be overly fanciful in my assessment of this threat. It is concerning that such a cabal may grow among the river folk, and one with the ability to request delivery from such far shores. But you are right to bring this to us. We will address this. And we are grateful. I will ensure that both of your masters, and he's looking at you, Talther and Katerina, will be aware of the great service you have done here. And he looks at you, Alwyn, and I trust that you will, even though you are a stranger here, you will appreciate the harm you may have avoided by delivering this to us.
I do. I've felt the presence of it over the last couple of days, just carrying such a thing.
Indeed. Well, unless there are other matters, I wish to give this my attention promptly. Nothing further?
No. Thank you for your assistance.
Thank you for your service to the city and the empire. And he will then have one of the acolytes show you out, and you guys are free. It's weird. You step outside, and it feels like it's gone up like 5 or 6 degrees Celsius. Strange. Then, guys, why don't we talk about what downtime activities that you wish to do?
Endeavors.
Yeah.
I do not like priests of more. I mean, narratively they're great. It's just in characters like, ugh.
We all end up seeing more at one time or another.
Yes.
It may be the reminder of that inevitability that is disquieting. All right, so the endeavors.
Adventures.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. Do you have a page reference there, Carl?
In the CRB, it's on page 192 of the PDF in CRB.
Oh, great.
192, sorry, not on the PDF. 192 in the CRB.
Oh, the print version. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then, we'll decide on your things, and for the other players too. Well, like both. Are
there? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Carl. What was that?
I was going to ask if are there specific endeavors in Salzenmund. I know some of the books have site-specific endeavors.
Oh, good question. Yeah. Actually, let me take a look. I do not know. Yes, I know there are in Altdorf, right?
Yeah, at Altdorf there were. So I was wondering if Salzenmund.
Yeah, good question. Let me take a look. I think there's smuggling endeavors for sure.
Oh.
But that may be for Rudy to do, although he seems as if he's pursuing something differently now. Take a look in the...
CVO.
There are not specific endeavors here.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Oh, and though Alwyn, you know what? Depending on what you are pursuing, there may be new endeavors in Death Steps and Light Fingers.
I am still trying to train Astrid.
Oh, okay.
After my failure to do it last time, so I'm still hopeful.
Okay, and what does that require? Oh, animal training. Here we go.
It's an average animal training test.
Sure.
And if successful, add 1 skill to your animal.
So why don't you give us a... we just did endeavors, didn't we, in Olden Leeds?
I don't remember.
Or do we not? No? Let's do 2 endeavors then. You guys will be able to have time to do 2 because it's been a while. We have no elves in the party, so we don't need to worry about the first one getting sucked up by the elves. So then, animal training. Why don't you give us an average animal training test, please?
Okay. Hey.
Oh, she's a good girl. Katerina and Talther, what is your first endeavor?
I think I'm actually going to banking. Yeah.
Ooh, banking. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta be. Yeah.
Investing and stashing. I don't know. Seems like investing is a better way to go. Less chance of losing everything.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think? Oh yeah, pick an interest rate, and
yeah,
then...
I could do investing or stashing is a little more risky because it's 10 or lower. It can get found.
Yeah. What do you think?
But investing, you have to it's not like ready cash in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think investing is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then, so just on your character sheet, mark down what the interest rate is.
Determine interest rate of your
Just roll a d10. Yeah.
You could roll a d10 instead, yeah, if you want to roll it randomly, do it, but you can pick the number as well.
Oh, you can pick?
Yep.
Yeah.
You determine, because it's the greater the interest rate, the greater the risk.
Oh, right. Yeah. So maybe 5.
Okay.
Where did I put that?
I'm not sure. It'd be somewhere on maybe there's a section under journal or something like that.
Yeah.
For it. And just put however much it is in there, and then put it as the interest rate that you're picking.
Is there a journal page?
I'm thinking of Death Watch. Again, the thumbnails got me screwed up. You see here, Rudy. What is the... So under... Okay, so it wouldn't be under there. Combat. I don't think it'd be under here.
There is I think the sheet is missing notes. That's what it's missing.
Well, where was money located?
Combat tab.
Combat tab.
Okay. Oh yeah, okay. So maybe click edit and put it under the bio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it doesn't seem to be a place you can easily put it here.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see anything on the character sheet. Looking at Rudy's.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Okay. And so both of you did banking. Alwyn, what is your second endeavor?
I'm just looking, sorry.
See how much money I want to put in there.
Class endeavors are starting on page 200.
Oh, 200.
So if you want to do, because I think Alwyn, you're a rogue, right?
Yeah.
So you could study a mark, or I think that's it, actually. Yeah. And then I think both of you guys are academics. Is that right?
I believe so, yeah.
So you could do reputation or research lore. I think I put the emphasis on the wrong word there. So those are just your class options, as well as your the general endeavors. Alwyn, what are you thinking? If you want to think about it too, we don't need to make a decision. We're getting close to end of session right now anyway. So if you want to take time to consider it, I'm sure that Sean and Graham are going to have time to think over what they want to do for their two.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we do this, guys? We'll leave it there, and we'll see what's coming back. We'll start next session hearing what the second endeavors for all of you guys are, and what the two endeavors for our other fellows are. And give me a second. I do need to... There we go. All right. So, guys, you are going to earn for finally delivering that box. That is going to be an extra 250 XP on top of the 100 you get for the session. So you guys are getting 350 XP, and I'll put in the Discord that the other guys get 250 for the session for achieving that goal. So then we'll go back to our main screen here, and we'll make the outro. So then, and I'll make sure to change the thumbnail before I get out too. I mean, it's either that or I have to issue you guys, storm bolters. So probably easier to just
nice.
change the thumbnail. All right. So then for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for chapter 37, guys, of our ongoing Salt, Silver, and Sin campaign. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. I'm pretty caught up in the comments right now. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server where all of us are active, and we have channels there dedicated for, one dedicated to the many Warhammer games we run on the channel, as well as for most of the other campaigns we have on the channel, most of the games we run on the channel, as well as Find a Group, GM discussion, virtual tabletop chat. There's a very helpful, knowledgeable, and friendly community over there. You're more than welcome to join us. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. So Noble Knight Games are the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have an incredible selection of new role-playing games, they also have new role-playing games, board games, and card games. They have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs, including, I don't know, John, what would you think of as a hard-to-find and out-of-print RPG?
Well, I already showed the Dark Eye. How about maybe Blackbirds?
Yeah, Blackbirds. I mean, Blackbirds, you're easier to get it through like Amazon or another retailer, but the Dark Eye RPG would definitely be a thing you could get through there. Or say Fantasy Craft. I don't know. What are my other current obsessions of niche games? If they don't have something in stock that you're looking for, you can put it on a want list, and they will send an email to you when it comes in. And if you make a purchase of $10 or more through their website, be sure to enter the code MuserNight. It's in the description of the video. All caps, all one word. It'll save you 10% on any purchase of $10 or more. And if you're listening to this after July 15, 2025, come back to one of our more recent videos and you'll see what the current discount code is listed there. There's also a reminder at the end of May 31st, we will be playing our first ever charity marathon. 16 hours of Dragonbane, 4 parts. We have 6 players who will be playing, not necessarily through the whole thing, but by the end we'll have 6 players who will be playing in the game. All donations that we raise throughout that stream will be going to SOS Children's Villages International, and donors during that period will be able to affect the gameplay throughout. So if that does sound like something fun, you need not donate to join us in chat throughout the session. So please, if you're interested in just joining us to see what happens, we'll welcome you there. May 31st, Saturday, starting at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, going to midnight Central Standard Time. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The last thing I will say is an enormous thank you to our stalwart, grim and perilous players. So Darren, Carl, and John, thank you so much for playing today, guys. Congratulations on the finally offloading that cursed box. I'm so sorry for the lasting effect it's going to have. Wait, did we talk about that yet? No, we haven't talked about that. Ignore me. I'm sure there's no lasting effect of carrying around a cursed necromantic box that killed a man. Probably nothing. So we'll be back in Salzenmund in 2 weeks' time. But until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our grim and perilous heroes have been encountering as they're trying to level up, get some promotions, and then get back out to, I don't know, earn some more glory, I guess. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.